So they obviously have five, launch bays, tubes, whatever you call them. How many torpedoes would they have total? If they've got five tubes, I assume they have more than five. Do they have 10? Do they have 50? Do they have hundreds?
I don't know. I mean, in the movies, you generally get two, but those are old subs, so I have no idea what's current.
I know who could answer this for us. Tom Clancy.
Jeeves. Okay, ask Tom Clancy. That would be a nice search engine.
Hello, I am Tom Clancy.
Most of your impressions sound like the same person.
Please buy the division. We've fixed all the problems.
Yeah, never promised that.
Enjoy the division on many formats of your home entertainment systems. I assume Tom Clancy rides around in a sub now. That's all he does.
Wouldn't you? Him and Cameron, the Titanic director.
No, James Cameron.
James Cameron, yeah.
James Cameron rides around on a floating island.
Well, he does do sub things recreationally. He's very big on it, apparently.
Oh dear God! These fucking torpedoes.
Can we just do a Tetris mini game to, map onto the fight or something?
Yeah, or anything that's not this.
I like how they have a picture of a missile at the bottom of the screen, just so we know that something's happening. It kind of looks like a Doctor Who's sonic screwdriver.
I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's there because we choose which missile to fire. I could swear that earlier he pushed a button and it changed which one we saw.
Maybe.
But I might have just been imagining that to pretend like something was happening.
Your brain is trying to protect itself by imagining variation.
What shocks me the most is it literally looks like, as a player doing this, you're doing nothing. Us watching it, okay, fine. But,
He must be doing keyboard clicks that do something or something. Don't you think?
I don't see any numbers changing. Okay, maybe that top number on the right has been changing.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, though. And the second number is changed a few times. And the fourth number is changed, and presumably the third number is time.
Okay, now we're slowing down, I think. Or we're going up.
We're doing something.
We did a thing.
Yep. Oh. Well, the little blue markers to the left of the slider just went up one notch. So, whoa. I thought that was his projector TV up there.
I think that's us firing missiles, isn't it? Or one of them is, anyway.
I know it's asking a lot for the technology, but it sure would be nice to have some labels.
Yeah.
Torpedo passing by. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like it's exploding, it's just silently shaking the boat. Making MIDI do explosion sounds is very easy. It's one of the first things they ever did.
Oh, now this is a white line. What is that?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I think that's the sub
It's
itself,
cocaine.
Right? And now that the white line is on there, that means we're going to start firing missiles, I think. Or torpedoes.
Sure.
Because now that we're actually close enough to maybe hit it. But, no? Okay, I guess we're not. Oh, is it because we can't use any Black Hawk weaponry?
Oh, maybe.
So, if we're just going to sit here and let them pass, really, we didn't even need to sit down.
Seems that way to me.
We could have just held on to something for all this. Read a book.
It's a minor quibble, but the controls in some places the foreshortening is off, and it's really annoying me.
Oh,
Like the buttons are squared up differently than the panel they're on.
yeah.
I mean, I know that's probably a limitation of pixels, but still bugs me because I'm petty and grumpy.
You're our chief petty officer, if you will.
Womp womp. I was one, not a chief, but a petty officer.
So did you just go around all the time like, well, I guess I could requisition that if you really think it's worthwhile.
More like going around and telling people that their tie is an eighth of an inch off center. I don't like their girlfriend.
Or like telling them in detail the differences between Transformers the movie and Transformers the animated show.
Yeah, every time I opened my mouth, it had to start with "well, actually."
Okay, I shouldn't the ship have passed us by now? They're just like sitting there, like our noses are touching, basically.
Kiss. I ship them.
I I think the game is frozen.
How would you know? Nothing's blinking. Oh wait, no, the little green red is on the map is still blinking, so it's not.
Oh, okay, now they're going away. All right, they're going away. Although with the way that white line is lined up, it really makes it look like they just came right up to us, stopped, and now they're slowly backing away. As if they're like, oh, I guess that's maybe a whale or something?
I wonder if in this universe the submarines are like the cars in Cars.
Probably.
Probably.
Like we have a big smile painted on the front of ours and some googly eyes.
Yeah. I think if I owned a submarine, I'd do that.
Sure. It's what Tom Clancy did.
He didn't actually write that in, but that's word of God canon. Just like Dumbledore was gay,
Yeah.
which wasn't Tom Clancy. You know, I'm not confused on that point. If anyone's listening and wondering how I got that so wrong. Of course, if that's the sticking point in this conversation, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yep, this is super exciting. Woo!
This is, yeah. Coming up next, watch our commentary on, fuck, I already used pole position. It's another game where you do nothing but just, like,
The trucking game.
excite bike. Oh, we launched a stinger. Well then, why didn't we use weapons before now? I don't understand.
I think every game we do has to have a long patch of disaction.
It's the way we roll.
Write to us in the comments section for the next game you'd like us to play that has long sections of nothing, so we can talk about Kierkegaard. I hate to admit, but I can't really talk about Kierkegaard. I follow some philosophy and shit, but that was a little bit too much trying to sound intelligent but not really making any sense to me.
I honestly don't even remember if I've read Kierkegaard. I'm kind of a Wittgenstein man. I don't know, like, philosophy for me is, I like reading 1 to 2 paragraphs about a person's beliefs rather than actually reading them.
Yeah, I took a course in philosophy in college from one of my favorite professors because he realized that textbooks were stupidly expensive, so he only assigned things that were available for free on the internet to read if we wanted. Beyond that, all I remember is Anselm's proof of the existence of God was really disappointing because it was touted to me as this is an undisprovable proof, and it's stupid.
Yeah, as most of them are.
It goes something like this: God is the most perfect being we can imagine. Not existing is an imperfection, therefore God must exist. Little circular.
Yeah. It's either teleological or tautological. Now I'm hopelessly lost on which one is which.
I think we could take 2 or 3 syllables and add them together and put logical on the end and make a case for it being a school of philosophy.
Circular logic will only make you dizzy.
Yep, sure are some lines.
We got him once. Why aren't we firing more torpedoes? Did we just want to shake him up a little? I don't...
What does the negative 11 mean? Do you know?
That's...
Is it like an indication of knots toward us, or...
No, there are always numbers over there, even if we don't have another ship approaching, I think.
It's our approval rating on
Yelp.
Yelp, thank you. I suddenly wasn't millennial enough to finish my joke. That's what happens when you get into your 40s.
Man, we are just blinking over there.
Blinky, blinky. But not moving.
Nope. That was close.
That was...
There we go.
See, yeah. It's getting a little predictable, guys.
Oh god, they still have more torpedoes.
Your minigame can make its point without having to do all this for this. Are we going like live time on our trip to... Where are we going? Soviet Union? Or...
Oh god, I don't even remember.
I don't
want
either.
to say Macronesia, because that's where they start dealing with in 3rd season of Sequest, but I don't think we're going to Macronesia.
I wonder if I would like Sequest if I watched it again.
I don't know.
I used to have a crush on the teenager there, but I think it would be creepy.
Jonathan Brandis.
I think it'd be creepy if I carried that on now, though.
It's, I think it's okay, because it was already in place before. It's kind of like how I felt kind of bad about finding Jennifer Connelly hot in Labyrinth after I saw Requiem for a Dream, but then I was like, no, it's okay.
I gotta say, for Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth, that the scene of her running along that long passage kind of introduced me to the concept of bouncing breasts. It's like, whoa, hey, I'm suddenly aware of that. I know it existed in my universe before there, but love that movie. Not just because of that.
It's that's definitely a movie that's got something for you, whether you're gay or straight, right?
My stepmother calls it the Lavender Crotch movie.
It is certainly David Bowie was a man with little shame.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
It's funny, we all complained about how shitty 2016 is, and now look how 2017 has started. Not with dead celebrities, but just, like, threats to our own lives.
Well, it's, this is why, like, I took so much issue with all of that, like, fuck you 2016 stuff. It's like, it's it's only gonna get worse,
Yeah, and it was not statistically more dead celebrities than any other year. It's just that a couple of them hit close together, and that's how chance works. As my friend, a physicist says, chance is clumpy. We sort of expect it to be evened out, but it's not usually.
Well, plus, just as we get older, we're gonna recognize the people who die more often.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, 2015, if you were like 65 or whatever, was probably a horrible fucking year for dead celebrities. But
and if you were 14 this year, Abe Vigoda probably didn't affect you.
Right. It's I mean, there are quite a few of them who died. Who like I was pretty shocked at how. I mean, like Bill Paxton and Carrie Fisher. Neither of them had hit 70. Like they.
Yeah.
It was kind of shocking that.
Well,
I mean, like you expect maybe a Jimmy Stewart or something like that,
right.
But
Well, and then we had the guy who played the Russian in Star Trek with his car accident.
yeah, yeah.
Weird, grotesque car accident. So all sorts of different kinds of dying too. Dying from a known disease, dying from generally just kind of old, dying from a heart attack, dying from an overdose, dying from, I don't know, not being in the news enough.
Woo! We got the sub.
Oh, and Carrie's mother died right after too.
Yeah.
That was sad.
I can't remember. I had started to make a point earlier, and I left it, and then now I don't even remember what the hell it was, because it might have been about Labyrinth. Who knows?
Labyrinth and death.
Oh, Sequest. So Sequest has it's like, I mean, it wants to be a sci-fi show, and you just pretend that they're on a spaceship, and it totally works.
Right.
But it has a couple of things that are so fucking Steven Spielberg, because he was one of the executive producers, and they're the parts of it that really like stick out like a sore thumb and make it a little difficult to get through. But whoa, wow, that submarine battle took us that far apparently.
When you're editing, maybe make a note of how long that took, because I'm curious.
Well, you can tell because it will probably be an entire episode.
Yes.
So that was the problem with the earlier one. Editing it was I didn't kind of push the episode before right up to it, so that episode ended up being like 27 minutes or whatever.
So you're still talking about Sequest.
Yeah, but so the dolphin bullshit, like, really the show could do without that. And God, I can't remember what they call it, like the virtual reality transponder or some shit, is really ridiculous and dated, but they feel like things that Spielberg pushed for, because he's like, no, like, life is good and exciting and yada yada yada.
Yeah. Maybe if you're a really wealthy, famous film director. Now what are we looking at? Is that the Star of Dave? Star of Jesus?
The three kings are approaching.
In a sub.
We're carrying the three kings.
Gold, frankincense, and a tomahawk missile. And blinking like something's important.
Something's always important.
I don't know. I think that could be argued. Yep, this is stuff. This is totally stuff.
Man,
they're saving on their animation budget.
Yeah. Do you remember at the beginning of this game when we were like going around and talking to people and seducing chicks?
Yeah, this does not seem like the same game. It's like
this is like that part in Thunderball with all the underwater bullshit. You're just like, wow, like, I mean, this is impressive, but how can I go here, guys?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd rather be back on the beach, hopping from cabana to cabana, seducing women.
Yeah.
Which, it's not a great trope for me, but it was more action. Or volleyball, for crying out loud, was more action.
Yeah, the volleyball was fun. I missed the volleyball.
This section is to make you want the volleyball, because later it'll be back and we'll appreciate it better.
We'll be playing volleyball with the General and the other guy who was there when we were getting briefed.
Khrushchev, or I don't know what year this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Assume I just said something historically topical. Probably not Khrushchev, but maybe.
It looks like there's a little guy in a raft having a seizure approaching the Star of David.
Yeah, that was from the Gospel according to Manny. That was the first faintly funny name I could think of.
Yeah.
Or it's plus. We're about to go into a mathletes puzzle.
Ooh. It's like a Mavis Beacon math contest coming up here.
That's the best.
Man, I could take that. Maybe that would make a good episode as like a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
You know what? I'd be down. I mean, hell, that's simple enough. We could play and comment probably instead of commenting over someone else.
Nah, maybe.
Where in the world? Of course, it's wildly out of date, so you have to remember like the former. A couple of those countries are no longer what they used to be.
Located just beneath the Twin Towers in New York City.
I seem to recall there was at least one country in the game that doesn't exist anymore as itself.
I'm sure the USSR isn't.
Oh yeah, must be. And Lima, Peru. For one reason or another, that's the only capital I can remember from the game, is Lima, Peru.
Oh my god, finally.
What? There were navigation skills happening?
Apparently so.
Wacky. More?
We're directly under the Kuntz.
It looks like there may be more than one level to this section.